Hi everyone. Well, it's a beautiful morning here on the Oregon coast. I was up early this morning and I just got this finished. This is, I'm calling it A Child's Garden of Verses. It's Robert Louis Stevenson's book. I have a couple copies of this book, but this one has the most beautiful cover. The spine was in good shape. It was really in great condition all the way around. I've added a charm to it. It has this. This is the only copper skeleton key I have. I have a bunch of skeleton keys, but this one is the only one that is copper. So it worked perfectly because I decided to use copper things here. We have this is a farthing, which has a little bird on it. I don't know if you can see it. And this is a little token, souvenir token from the Oregon State Fair. Recycled glass bead, and where'd that little fairy go? And the little fairy I made. And a handmade with love. And this is removable. It's got this giant clasp here that you just unhook it. So I'm going to take it out. Hitching post closure with stretch lace. And I kept the inside pages here because these illustrations are so pretty. It has 3 signatures, hidden spine, just a little bit of fabric here. And I had a little bit of fabric here at the top and at the bottom. So I've seen other people do that and I like the look of it. So I thought I'd give it a shot. So this is just some collage here on the first page of each signature. That's kind of what I did. I made a lot of clusters. That's usually what I start with, is when I'm making a new journal, is I start with the clusters. And I just like to have a bunch of them on hand to choose from. I usually don't end up using them all, but I like having them. And some of these were so big that I just turned them into tuck spots. This is a really old, I guess, business card. It's plain on the back. It has someone's name on it. It's German, I think. I've put in a few of the precious pages from my mushroom book that I was willing to part with. This is some handmade paper. Kind of went good with this nature theme. Another one of the clusters, and this one has just a tiny little Tim Holtz piece of ephemera tucked in there. Onion skin paper. This red and black book page I thought would look nice with some of that handmade paper I have that I used in my last journal. And also I thought this crow tag went well with it. So here's a tag I made. It's just a collage, some napkin collage with this little tab I put here on the top and old book page on the back. And these are actually some corners I tore off of something I made, used in my last journal, and I hadn't thrown them away, and they kind of made nice little pocket for that tag, which just fits in there. So I cut a page out of this old book I have. It's actually the book I used the cover of for my last journal, the World Book. This is one of the pages from it, and I like the forest scene, and I just turned it into a pocket for this tag, which is printed on overhead projector film and then layered over some collage. Beautiful page from the tree book I got from my friend Dawn. Thank you, Dawn. Another page from a different children's book. And here is just a beautiful old postcard. It's about the language of flowers. And the writing on the back is done in pencil. It's hard to read it, very light. This is something I made in my laminating machine. It's some handmade paper, a leaf, and a fuchsia. Then on the other side is a journaling card, just made from a book illustration. On this page, I did stitching to hold this flower down on this side, and it also holds down the butterfly on this side. This is one of those Hawaiian flashcards. T is for turtle. Thought the colors went well with this page from the Bambi book. And another section I cut from that old children's book and just turned into a little journaling card. So this cluster I turned into a tuck spot also, and inside is this tiny little envelope, which I thought was so adorable. And inside I put a page from my 1936 autograph book. So it looks like a little letter in there. So I turned this into a pocket for this Tim Holtz guy. Looks like a giant back there. A leaf skeleton. Isn't that mushroom book beautiful? I mean, it has just gorgeous pictures on both sides of the pages. But I wish there were more pages in it. Then I would feel more free about using them. Well, that's one of my jelly prints on a map page. This was actually from an old National Geographic from the late 30s. And inside is a tag I made. And then this flips like a little door here. It tells a little bit about the deer. It's actually from a Chinese brushstroke instructional book. That's I'm part of an envelope. It's just stitched on there. So I just took the National Geographic pages and stitched two of them together to make a pocket. This is some wrapping paper, the flip out, garden flowers in color, beautiful illustrations in there. Another picture from a different children's book. I think these are just so adorable. Edith Holden page. So we have an uptuck here with a tag. I just stitched around this rose and then added some little bits of the tea bag to add a little ruffle. And this is a page from the butterfly book of Butterflies of North America. The pages are big, so I just flipped it over and turned it into a pocket. This is one of the French postcards. They put the stamp on the front. And it's in French in the back, so I don't know what it says. Simone's address. Another cluster with some little bits of fabric. Just put these on this morning. I was hoping they weren't glued together, and they're not. Little journaling card. I think that's a Tracy Fox Fussy Cut Flower digital. got out my die cutting machine and cut out some more dies of some of my favorite flowery ones. And here's another tag. This one has a little pocket here, the little Tim Holtz ephemera card inside of it. Some gold doily that I tea stained and a little bit of fabric. This tab's made out of the edge of a doily where you could see that they did some crocheting right there. This is some ephemera paper that I've had for a while. Decided I would just stick that in there. It's not too bulky. It fits nicely. Another clustered. It's kind of hard to see it, but it has one of those little Tim Holtz bugs on it. And it looks like this bird's looking at that bug. Last signature. This is a really old field guide I have. I think I just put this one page, used this one page of it. Quote from John Muir. So this little cluster here has this little fuzzy stuff on it. It's actually some gauze I had that I tea stained, and it looks like this. They're like little gauze squares. But I found when I tried to tear it that it just was amazing how it just, look at that, just made this beautiful fuzz. So kind of like this. Adds texture. Pressed Queen Anne's lace between two layers of just plastic, cellophane packaging stitched together. And this is a tag off of a bag that was made out of recycled bags. No snag paper clip, and on this side, some old photos. These are probably from the 40s. This one is Mount Rushmore. And that's probably from Yellowstone, one of the geysers. This one says Yosemite Falls. And I'm pretty sure that's Hawaii. I think some of them were dated. This one isn't, but they were from the mid-40s, and I'm thinking they might have been from about World War II era. So a little tag in this cluster, which I turned into a tuck spot. So I really had fun with the clusters this time, and I got kind of carried away with I added lots of different things for texture, little bits of yarn and fabric. I made them a little bigger too. They were fun. A jelly print. Look at this one here, see? It's got this little ruffle of tea bag paper. And this is another one of the pages from the National Geographic. And a print from a book, which is kind of pretty. Lady in her garden. Some wallpaper. And an envelope I made that has little bits and pieces in it. Some Tim Holtz ephemera. Some of these, I think these might be Tracy Fox's mushroom digital. And a blank postcard made out of handmade paper. You can see the flower petals in it. This has a flip out. Some more die cuts. Another one of my large clusters that I turned into a tuck spot for some Tim Holtz flowers, and a little specimen tag, Tim Holtz, I think, also. So a collage tag, that's a sundial. That's a page from the original book. It had beautiful illustrations, line drawing. They weren't in color, but still very pretty. And just a bunch of different die cuts kind of layered up. And there's the back cover. All right, so I had a lot of leftover pages, so I have a feeling there will be another one. These are all the extra pages I did not have room for, so they will go in a new one. And this is the original book. Isn't it pretty? Has lots of great pictures in it, so I'll probably put in a few of these also. Okay, thanks for watching.